How is it going, everyone? You know, there's a lot of big games coming out over the course of the next month or two, and there's gonna be some that I feel like go a little bit under the radar, and one that I think you should have your eyes on, but it might get lost in the shuffle a little bit, is Hell Is Us. But great news, as Hell Is Us is going to be getting a free demo on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series. We already had a free demo available on PC during the last Steam Next Fest, but this demo will be available on consoles as well. Want to take you guys through some of the updates that we've had for the game recently, and there's a lot to go over. So before I get into this video, I do want to note our friends over at Green Man Gaming, if you're looking to play this game on PC, do have Hell Is Us, both the standard edition and the deluxe edition, 25% off. The base game, instead of $49.99, you'll pay $37.49, and the deluxe edition is 25% off for $52.49. A sizable savings, and you won't pay tax either. You'll get a Steam key, so check out the link in the description box below on that. We get an affiliate kickback, which is much appreciated. Let's just get right into it, but let's first give mention of the fact that there is going to be a free demo that'll be available for everyone. You don't gotta pre-order the game or anything like that. I mean, there's never demos tied to pre-ordering a game, but sometimes you'll have betas tied to pre-ordering, but the demo will be available for everyone to download on PS5 and Xbox Series on August the 12th, so you'll get a little bit of a taste of the game. The game, from a visual standpoint and atmosphere standpoint, looks incredible. I remember when one of the trailers dropped and you heard some dialogue going about it, I was like, oh my god, is that Adam Jensen from Deus Ex? And the game has the same voice actor, but it is in fact Hell Is Us. It looks like an incredibly compelling action-adventure single-player RPG that is bringing some pretty unique and compelling mechanics to the game as well, as far as how it's designed. And recently, we got the Hell Is Us diving into the dungeons video, and there was some interesting information that was dropped on that game about how the game was designed. Hell Is Us is not your typical action-adventure game. Now, this part might actually push some people away, or it might draw you in. There's no map, no quest markers, no hand-holding, just organic exploration asking you to trust your senses in a country torn apart by civil war and plagued with supernatural forces. So, the game is really leaving you on your own devices. You are free to do just about anything and investigate in your own way. Some people will be all about that, some people won't. I like games that are designed a little bit different than everything around them. While I am certainly one that likes to have a nice map, that likes to know where the next major objective is, being left to your own devices and being dropped into a world where you can freely explore, that's going to be up a lot of people's alley. I would also add the fact that the atmosphere and the tension of this game and the style of game that it is, it works in an ambiance standpoint of really creating an engrossing experience, at least what I'm visioning out of the game in terms of creating a game that'll absorb you into the world. I think Hell Is Us does have that going on for it, so I can understand why they decided to go in that direction. You're gonna be free to explore and to investigate in your own way, but deep within this wounded land lie hidden places, structures that seem to resist time. Sometimes buried, sometimes towering in plain sight, but always waiting for someone bold enough to enter and understand. We didn't design these dungeons as mere set pieces. We built them like old school video games. Challenges, a tight crafted, deliberate, every corner, every obstacle, every encounter is there for a reason, and you'll face twisted enemies that push your mastery of the melee system and layouts that force you to think, not just react. If you missed the days where exploring a dungeon was memorable, this is for you. They note that each dungeon has its own identity, its own history, and we wanted them to feel alive and wonderful to discover. So this is very much a game about exploration and discovering various aspects of the world that they've crafted with a lot of attention to detail, and looks like it'll be something for you to get really immersed into. The kind of places that leave an impression even after you have left. Deep in those dungeons, you will encounter good old-fashioned environmental puzzles requiring you to take a step back in order to understand. Solving a dungeon puzzle in Hell Is Us is about understanding the location and its environments, observing, trying things, failing sometimes, and coming back with a fresh idea that will solve it. And when it all clicks, that's when you feel it, that little rush, not because the game told you, but because you figured it out on your own. Now, that aspect of the game I can totally understand is going to push some people away and really being left to your own devices and not having much of a guide. But for the style of game that Hell Is Us is, if that is their vision for the game, let's see if they can realize that vision in an incredibly compelling way. There's more to them than just some of the fights you'll face. It might stick you not because they're brutally hard, but that's not the game we are making, but because they hit differently, they happen at the right moment, just in the right place, and they carry the weight of your journey. In terms of the attention to detail and the crafting of the world, that's really what I am most compelled about, because that seems to be the aspect of the game they've put a lot of attention into. We see a lot of open level design games, and sometimes it feels like it's a lot of emptiness. With Hell Is Us, it does feel like there's a level of everything's been meticulously crafted, leading you to want to explore everything. Remember, this is a game that has exploration at the heart of the game, but you have to create a world, and the world has to be crafted in a way where exploration is something you want to do, and it's not something of a game where you just want to rush to the finish line and beat it. So we'll see how that ultimately does turn out. Hell Is Us doesn't follow the usual rules. There's no glowing quest marker, no checklist of objectives guiding you from point A to point B. The game highlights what truly matters, but only through the world itself. It's up to you to connect the dots. Rather than following a rigid path, Hell Is Us gives you the space to choose when you approach its challenges. At key moments, you're given multiple directions to explore, and it's up to you to decide which path draws your curiosity. Progression is flexible, and that flexibility gives every player a chance to shape their own experience. That freedom also extends beyond the main story. If you want to stay focused on your primary objective, you can, but you might also come across a secluded vault, a disturbing relic, or a mysterious request for help. Will you stop to investigate? Will you intervene? Or will you walk away unsure of what you've just witnessed? Really, while you can focus on the primary objective with a game like Hell Is Us, where the crafting of the world is seemingly so meticulously done and with an attention to detail, I would imagine the intention is for you to focus on the main story initially, but then just naturally playing the game, you'll get drawn into the other aspects of the game, and then it's up to you to decide on how much you want to explore it, but hopefully you'll at least explore some of it. They also know there are no traditional fetch quests here, no filler, no go here, do this, just to pad your journey. Every side encounter, whether it's an act of kindness, a hidden space to uncover, or an eerie sign of something deeper, exists for a reason. You won't find quest logs or clear rewards. What you take from them depends entirely on you. So we'll see how all of that turns out from a world design standpoint. Hell Is Us is officially releasing on September the 4th, and the game has gone gold. I will say that this game is doing the early access gimmick with the deluxe edition. The base game is $49.99. You know, I love me the $50 price tag, but the deluxe edition will be the $70 price tag, and that'll be dropping on September the 1st. With the deluxe edition, you'll also get that 72 hours of early access. You'll get the military pack for pre-ordering as well. And the deluxe edition includes some additional content, a Hollow Walker skin and an additional skin, Hollow Walker skin and an additional skin for the drone, secret code, in-game bonus, a digital art book, and digital soundtrack. Sounds like kind of bare bones for an additional $20, so I think a lot of people are going to end up going the $50 route. But it's up to you, and like I said at the top, if you do want to get the game a little bit cheaper and you're playing on PC, go check out our friends at Green Man Gaming. They have the game discounted already, and you can pick up the base game 25% off for $37.49. You'll get a Steam key, it'll redeem directly on there, and you won't pay tax either, so it's even better than that. But as far as on consoles, it'll be $50, and that free demo will be dropping on August the 12th. That's gonna do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.